Good evening, everyone. This is the class of MA Liberal Arts, and today we are performing a play that goes wrong, which is adapted from Henry Louis, Jonathan Sire, and Henry Shade's original concept by the same name. And by the way, the show has already begun. We hope you all enjoy it.
Alright, stand by for Act 1. Room for the cast.
Guys, the dog is missing. We need to find him before his entrance.
Let's just have that part out, okay? We can't do anything about it. Let's have that part out.
There should be holes above the fireplace, bro.
Wait, what? Okay. You know what? Just leave it. I think we won't need it. We'll somehow manage, okay?
Oh my god, bro, just get on the stage, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good evening, ladies, and I see we're sticking with the arbitrary binaries. Well, good evening, my dear friends and enemies, humans and non-humans, and all our other dear distinguished guests. Welcome to the Much Ado Theatre Company's spring production of The Murder at Aversham Manor. I would like to personally welcome you to what will be my directorial debut and my first production as the head of the Drama Society. We are particularly excited to present this play because for the first time in this society's history, we have managed to find a play that fits the company's numbers almost perfectly. If we are honest, the lack of our numbers has hampered a lot of the past productions, such as last year's Chekhov's play, Two Sisters, or last Christmas's The Lion and the Wardrobe. And of course, who can forget our summer musical, Cat. Of course, this is the first time the society has been able to afford to hire such a huge venue. And indeed, I would like to share the rather extraordinary reason behind it. Quite recently, through a remarkable twist of fate, we stumbled upon a hidden treasure. Yes, an actual completely hidden, totally not up in the open treasure, which has completely transformed our fortunes. It seems, at last, that luck is on our side. Though, as you may discover tonight, fate can be a rather unpredictable companion, both on and off the stage. Indeed, it's been a breath of fresh air not to have to contend with a small budget, as we had to in our last year's production of Roald Dahl's James and the Peach. Of course, during the run of that particular show, the peach went off and we were forced to present... Aha! Bro! Can you stop that? Yeah. Of course, during the run of that particular show, the peach went off and we were... Can I kindly request that you switch off your mobile telephones and other electronic devices? And please note photography of any kind is strictly prohibited. Also, if anyone finds a skull in the auditorium, I need that back. It is my emotional support skull. Please hand it to one of the ushers at the end of the performance. But now, on to the main event, which I'm confident will be our best show yet. Inspired in part by the suspense and brilliance of classic Indian cinema, from Rajesh Khanna's Ittefaq to Zeenat Aman's Dhun, Nasiruddin Shah's Khamosh, and the unforgettable words of Devanand's
Dude, get on with it.
We're done with it already.
We bring you tonight's thrilling whodunit. So without any further ado, please put your hands together for Susie H.K. Brightswell's The Murder at Aversham Manor.
Charlie! Charlie! There's no question. Charles passed away. I'm dumbfounded. He was as good as Rain an hour ago.
But who would want to murder him? He was so kind, so generous, a true philanthropist.
We must telephone the police, Perkins.
Inspector Carter is already on his way. I imagine it must be difficult for him to reach her in this terrible snowstorm. Where is he?
Where is he? My brother? My brother dead? It can't be. He must have. He always tried to hide it behind his smile, but his depression must have overcome him. I believe it was suicide.
It's true. It's true that his smile was offered merely for cash. But, Mr. Havisham, do you think there might have been someone with the motivation to murder Charles?
Nonsense! Nonsense! I believe it was suicide.
There is no need to squabble. We are sure to get to the bottom of this now that the inspector has arrived. We are sure to get to the bottom of this now that the inspector has arrived.
What a terrible snowstorm. I'm Inspector Carter. This must be Charles Havisham. What a damn sad thing. I take it everyone is present in here.
I'm Cecil Havisham, his brother.
I'm Florence Collymore, Cecil's fiance. Tonight was an engagement party.
And as you already know, I am Thomas Collymore, Florence's brother and one of the very dearest friend to Charles. And this is his butler, Perkins.
Very well. You,
Me, Inspector?
yes. Have you put everyone a stiff train?
Oh, bringing right away. Here you go, Miss Collymore. Inspector Carter.
Thank you, Perkins.
Mr. Havisham.
Now let us raise a glass to the man we all love, to Charles! To Charles!
Delicious!
Excellent.
Lovely!
Now that that's done, take the body upstairs so that I can examine it.
Sure, Inspector. Are there any reasons as to the cause of the death, Inspector?
Well, could be a number of things. Strangulation, suffocation, poison. I wouldn't like to say anything before I examine the body.
But how could someone do it?
Try not to think about it, Miss Collymore. As soon as I take the body upstairs, as soon as I take the as soon as I take the body upstairs, I'll speak to everyone. I'll speak to everyone individually, and then you can get some space to calm your nerves.
Thanks, Inspector. This is all more than I could ever bear.
I'll return presently as soon as I finish examining the body.
Thank God they have all gone. Thank God they have all gone.
Oh, Cecil! I can't take this. I can't bear it any moment longer. What if they find out the order affair? We will be suspects.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, but now that I've finished inspecting Charles's body and his study more closely, I would like to proceed with the interviews. Miss Coleman, I need to ask you a few questions first. Mr. Havisham, perhaps you'd be kind enough to give us a moment's privacy?
Naturally.
Where's my notebook? Notebook. Where's the Firstly, how old are you, Miss Coleman?
21.
Well, I'll make a note of that. When were you and your fiancé due to be married?
In the new year.
When did you first meet?
Only 7 months ago, but my brother had known him since childhood and he was the one who introduced us at a local gala and it was love at first sight. I knew from the very first moment I laid my eyes on him, I knew that he was the man I wished to marry.
Well, I guess that's enough note taking for now.
When you love someone, there is no such thing called rushing, Inspector.
Did you ever think you were rushing into this marriage?
Why wouldn't I love him?
Did you love him then?
How could anyone be benefited?
Can you think of anyone who might have been benefited from your fiance's death?
Cecil?
Not even Cecil.
I wasn't having an affair. Don't you take your voice to me, Inspector.
You were having an affair.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down, Miss Coleman.
Inspector.
Then how do you explain this letter?
You have read my letter? Where did you even find it?
I'll tell you which letter. The one it is to Cecil, written in your hand, declaring your love for him and how the thought of marrying Charles repulsed you.
Charles read it?
You made me letter? Will you find it? I'll tell you where I found it. In Charles' study.
Charles read it? Then it was a suicide.
Indeed. Or a murder conceived by yourself and Cecil Havisham so you could get together and run away.
You diabolical beast! How dare you! So I won't stand for this! Inspector, accuse me again and you will be sorry for the rest of...
What's the matter, Florence? Calm down. Stop shouting. He is having one of her episode. Snap out of it. me, Inspector?
Certainly I do. You and a brother. Did you get along well?
Up and down. There was rather more strain on our relationship when father died. And it was certainly no secret that my father cared for Charlie more than myself.
I see. It is your father in the portrait, is it not? He looks like a spit of Charles, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did. Ever since he was quite young, yes.
You were the junior by 4 years.
Almost, and didn't I know Charles would embarrass me and patronize me always? He always thought he knew best, and father always took his side, and he always got his own way.
That sounds far from the ideal brother. In fact, it sounds like you hated one another.
I shall not lie, Inspector. My brother and I never truly saw eye to eye. But if you are suggesting that I had something to do with his murder, then you are truly mistaken.
I see. It's a dark night. You can barely even make out the tree.
What are you saying, Inspector?
I'm saying, Cecil, that tonight will be the perfect night for you to murder your brother.
Inspector, please. Me and my brother, we might have had our differences, but deep down we cared for each other.
And yet you had an affair with his fiancée.
What on earth gave you that idea?
This letter I found in Charles's pocket. From Miss Collymore to yourself.
You know about this?
As it seems, dear Charles.
Well, bravo, Inspector. Seems like you have found out about Florence and I, but it proves nothing. We had nothing to do with his murder. But Thomas Collymore does. He is a dangerously unhinged man with a devil of a temper. And Florence is his sister. He couldn't give his sister up to any man, much less his old school chum.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Havisham. You have been most helpful. Perhaps you could fetch Thomas Collymore for me.
At once, Inspector.
That's queer. There's something underneath the cushions. A ledger. A ledger. What's this? The last will and testament of Charles Havisham, dated only today. I have to take a look at it. What's it? I, Charles Havisham, amend my last will and testament to leave all of my property, Havisham Manor, and all its contents and grounds to... Good Lord!
Thomas Collymore for you, Inspector.
Thank you, Cecil. But before I interview you, Mr. Collymore, I need to review Charles' study for some time. Okay? I'll return presently.
Take your time, Inspector.
Yes, Inspector.
What a ghastly business! My oldest friend murdered in cold blood! This evening could get no worse.
Thomas, well, I have a confession. Well, I wasn't going to say this, but the inspector seems to have found out, and blast it, I'm tired of keeping secrets.
Spit it out, Cecil! Spit it out!
Well, Florence and I are having an affair.
What? You and my sister?
Now calm down, Collymore.
I knew it! You were always a snake in the grass!
It's not what you think. We are in love.
My sister doesn't love you? How dare you lay a finger on her? Your own brother's fiancée! It's disgusting! No wonder your father hated you!
Now don't speak about my father that way, Collymore.
Enough, Cecil! Enough!
It's time for you to answer to all your indiscretions. Draw out your sword, Cecil! Today will be the end of you. You've got me, Gollimore! You've got me! There's no doubt about who killed Charles anymore. He was killed by his own little vile brother in a fit of jealous rage. If you ever lay a finger on my sister Havisham, you will be sorry. You get that? You will be sorry.
Gunshots in the library!
Dear God, what's going on there?
What's happening tonight, Inspector?
I don't know, Perkins, but we are not safe. There's a madman with a gun loose in this house.
Inspector? Inspector!
Is that you, Gollimore?
I think so, Inspector.
Are you alright? We must all try and stay calm. And we shouldn't let each other out of sight. Where's Miss Gollimore? Where is her? Where is he? Where is she?
She's here. Get in, Florence. It's not safe down there. Florence!
Thomas, I am frightened.
Don't worry, Florence. You're safe if you're with me. Don't worry.
What is going on?
I don't know, Perkins, but it must have been Cecil. He has lost control.
Cecily, surely not.
He killed Charles tonight, driven mad by his lust for you, and now he knows we have found him out.
I cannot bear it. Sissy would not do such a thing.
This is a fine mess, sir. The worst night I've ever seen in my 8 years of service.
Save me, brother, save me. Flames are too. Ah! I'm panicking. I can't believe. Seagull?
Cecil!
Cecil is doing this? I shall faint.
You shan't faint. Confound it. What a devil of a situation this is.
Not so fast. What?
Everyone, don't panic, but Cecil's just outside. We must lock him out.
Oh, Inspector, my fiancé and my lover killed on the same eve.
Remember your breathing, Miss Collymore. Now is not the time to have one of your episodes.
I am having an episode, Inspector. I cannot help it.
What? Episode. Okay, I
Oh, oh, my arms and my legs, my heart, it aches, and my brain. I feel like for.
Florence! Control yourself, girl!
They are dead, they are gone, and they are never coming back.
Oh, Florence! It's not a time for another tantrum of yours! Here, take this pill.
Not more of your pills. What's that?
Take it.
Oh, it's bitter. Bloody spread, bro.
Then who could have killed him?
Good evening again, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. We will be resuming the evening's performance in just a couple of moments, I'm assured. I must say, I'm delighted to see that so many of you are still here. Obviously, I would be lying if I said that the first act went entirely as we rehearsed. There were one or two minor snags which you may or may not have noticed. They are snags that would occur on any opening night. And this certainly hasn't been the worst first act the society has ever done by some stretch. So, yeah. Okay. Now, without further ado, it gives me a great pleasure to present the concluding act of The Murder at Havisham Manor.
Signature director?
Then who could have killed him?
No one could have killed him.
Except for the people in this room.
Good Lord. You're right. It's one of us.
And look, it's all ready. The snowstorm outside is raging.
Excuse me, man, please. Oh, wait, okay. If we are not careful, we'll be stuck in here. We must find the guilty man soon.
Indeed. The gunshots we heard earlier were coming from the library. I shall go and investigate the room. Till then, all of you remain here.
The tension in this house is my papers. The tension in this house is the tension the tension in this house is it's tense.
And it's already midnight. That was ominous.
Ominous indeed.
that's what the inspector will think.
Oh, really? Do you need to lie down?
Oh, enough words, take me.
Oh, Florence, you must not feel that way.
Kiss me 1,000 times and walk.
Of course, Florence. That's what brought us up.
I'll answer that. Good evening. It's a call for you, Mr. Collymore.
Who is it, Pockets?
Mr. Fitzroy from your bank, sir.
That guy. Hand me the receiver. Fitzroy? Yeah, this is much more convenient time to call me. A 9,000 pounds? A 9,000 pound withdrawal from my bank account? Another transaction? A one-way ticket to Dover? Wait, what? Well, let me tell you, I was not the one who did all of these transactions. A man at the bank? My money? What? So you are telling me you gave away all of my money to a random stranger? You are causing me much more pain than you could possibly imagine. I shall hang up immediately. Oh, my leg. My leg hurts. What a truly dreadful evening!
Mr. Collymore, come here. I need to discuss something with you in private. Come here. I have discovered the weapon used to kill Cecil.
Good Lord! Where was it?
In the library. Recently fired.
Then somebody here must be responsible for it.
Indeed. Perhaps you know something about Mr. Collymore?
I was in the kitchen with Florence fetching some refreshments.
Or protecting your sister's honor. We all know how ruthlessly protective you are of your sister.
Protective? I only approve what makes her happy.
Don't play the fool with me, Thomas. I know you killed Cecil Havisham in cold blood. And you know that wasn't the part of the plan. Look!
Found it beneath the window. Stained with cyanide.
Cyanide?
Cyanide. With the initials FC.
Which could only mean Florence Collymore.
Explain yourself, Miss Collymore.
How dare you accuse me?
How dare you? You accuse me? Who's that guy? Original one.
Enough! Miss Collymore, you had both motive and opportunity.
Inspector, I accuse you. I'm not guilty.
sure you are not getting
You despise your fiance, and you were in love with his brother.
Hey, not my sister Carter. It could not have been her.
Then the handkerchief.
The handkerchief might be planted.
But who else would have the motive to? Buggins!
What? Me, Inspector?
You stand to inherit everything after all.
What?
What?
Yes, it's true. Charles altered his will this very evening and left everything to Buggins.
What?
This is madness. I am innocent. But I know who did this.
Who?
Inspector Carter. Charles uncovered your embezzlement.
Preposterous!
You killed him to murder him and silence him.
Alright, then I shall silence you as well.
Not so fast, Inspector! I never drank the poison sherry you left for me. He tried to kill me and then cast suspicion upon rest of you.
Charles?
Your fiancé.
And what about the handkerchief?
And what about the handkerchief?
Now what do you have to say about that, Inspector Frederick Carter?
FC.
FC?
You damn.
You damn crafty damn. Time out.
Very well. I admit I intended to kill Charles, but I never went near Cecil. In fact, I was overjoyed when I discovered that you
Me?
and
Me,
him
not you.
were having an affair. I had the perfect man to pin it on until my accomplice messed up.
That's true. And your accomplice, I regret to say, has been my dear friend. Isn't that right, Thomas Collymore?
Brother? Brother?
That's true. I am Inspector's accomplice. I helped him move the money, but
Except what you didn't know, Thomas, was that the inspector was the one who stole all your money from your private account this morning, and after framing someone for my murder, planned to flee with a one-way ticket to Dover, taking every single penny with him.
you rogue! You rogue! I trusted you! Ha! You made a mistake there, Carter! And I believe this is your last!
No, I don't think so.
Give it up! Give it up! Give it up! Great time! Where are you taking this money?
It seems the police will arrive any minute now. Sir? Oh, don't worry. I'll not let them escape. Ah!
Wait for me, brother.
No! Wait for me, brother!
I take your guts. Who was that guy?
Oh, sorry. Oh, how I wish this could have ended differently. Betrayed by my brother, cuckolded by my fiancé, and almost murdered by my oldest friend. Let us hope we never again see a murder at Haversham Manor.
Okay, guys, on me, right? 3, 2, 1.
So, please everyone, once again, please give a huge round of applause for Nara. Next up, Charles Habersha. Lindsay and Cecil Habersha. Marilena and
Original Florence College.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, they put together the set and worked like tirelessly for it.
Beautiful. Amazing.
And also we should thank Edit, of course, our director.
Yes.
Once again, thank you for being here, everyone. It was a pleasure performing in front of such an energetic crowd. It was truly a pleasure.
It was unbelievably excellent. I think all our years, this has to be the best. And we say that every year. But this has to be the best. What do you think? This is here to be.
Oh, we are
It's really good. But you guys are terrific too. But every year this gets better and better. Wow. I love the two parts. I love all of it. It's so good. So good. I can't get over it. It's so authentic. Amazing. Yeah, we don't know. Just amazing. Amazing.